story number one here. Aaron Judge. What was it? Monday night? Was at the Blue Jays in Toronto, right? Batting. Keeps checking. Like, you can see his eyes. Just his eyes move. Like, I don't know, 2-3 seconds before the pitch. Towards, like, the dugout on deck area of his dugout.
Yeah.
And then promptly had 2 bombs in the same game. When that was the first game where he really started doing that. Or at least it's been seen that he's doing that. Not speculating. It could be something as simple as the pitcher was tipping his pitches and the guys on the bench were helping out with the pitcher tipping the pitches. Maybe that was the case. Definitely a little odd, though.
But when it spans the length of a game and transcends pitchers. So the thing that was like even more telltale than the home runs was when you see him look over and then he looks back and he just knows perfectly when to take a nasty like
slider,
kind of slider out of the zone.
Yeah,
he just sits on it like he knew a slider was coming, and then he looks over right before he hits that second home run. Does the same thing, looks over in that direction, and then just puts an absolute swing on a ball.
Puts it like 450 into orbit.
It was insane.
No, it's odd. Now, you don't want to go around throwing big accusations.
No, absolutely not.
That has ramifications, but it's certainly something. I think it should be addressed. I don't know what it is, but I think the Yankees or Judge or somebody should come out and say, this is actually what it is, not, we have a camera in center field or we are tapped into the pitch comm or something, Yeah,
it needs to be looked into at least a little bit.
There's a difference between gamesmanship and cheating, right? If the pitcher is tipping the signs or the catcher is tipping the signs,
then that's on them.
That's on them. If you're hacking into the pitch comm, no, that's illegal. That's cheating.
I know the announcers were talking about it. They were like, well, maybe he was looking back at the catcher, and he was like, no, but he's not looking far enough to be able to see where the catcher's setting up.
He's looking there. I mean, maybe
out of your peripheral, you still can.
I don't know. Plus, maybe to see where you set up, but that's not really gonna help you much.
No.
Usually, in the old days when they used to give real signs, real signs.
Instead of...
I guess instead of the pitch comm.
Yeah.
I guess, if that's the case, you're looking back for, throwing fastball, or are they going, slider, or, change up, maybe.
But even then...
But they're not doing that now.
That'll get you into some hot water. And usually the catcher notices that.
Usually the catcher looks up, make sure you're looking at the pitcher while they're giving it. So, I don't know.
Interesting.
It's odd. Story number 2, your 5-star quarterback originally committed to Ohio State was Dylan Raiola or something like that?
Raiola, yeah.
Raiola. Decommits from Ohio State, commits to Georgia. Is Georgia becoming the new Alabama?
We talked about this.
Are they? Are they becoming the new Alabama?
Dude, they might. I mean, they're starting to really take a foothold in the SEC.
I think so.
A strong foothold in the SEC.
Bama used to get 5-star flips, regularly. Georgia's now getting the 5-star flips.
Kirby is doing a hell of a job. And I think they're really leaning into the NIL, and that's what it boils down to. When teams lean into new and are on the cutting edge of kind of the new wave and the new way to sign players and the new way to go get prospects, that's the best way to do it.
Also, even though he's a quarterback, is there a chance that he sees all these Georgia guys get drafted and go, that's where I should be?
I think that helps.
Even if he's not thinking for himself, and he said, I'm a quarterback, all these Georgia defensive guys are getting drafted. That's the defense I want to play every day in practice to get better and ready for the NFL.
And not only that, but that's going to be a team where I'm not going to have to go win shootouts in the competitive SEC.
That's fair.
Because you're not going to have to score 40, 50 points because that defense is insane.
If you stayed for 3 years, you'd make the college football playoff, probably 2 of them.
Yeah.
If not all 3.
I just think it's interesting how the tides have turned.
It is interesting. Was it pun intended on the tides? Okay, yeah. Cool. I was like, I don't know. All right, story number 3 here. Ben DiNucci, Pine Richland alum.
Love it.
Pittsburgh alum. Well, I don't think he graduated, but anyway, Pitt, then JMU alum. Former Cowboy quarterback, former Seattle Sea Dragon quarterback, has now been signed to the Denver Broncos. He went for a couple of days of the rookie mini camp or whatever. Mm-hmm. They liked what they saw, so they signed him. So I would imagine he's gonna be their third string quarterback because they have Russ and they brought over Oh, this is gonna Jarrett Stidham.
Yeah,
thank you from the Raiders. So I'd imagine he'd be the 3 behind those 2. It's an NFL job. We like NFL jobs. NFL jobs are sick.
NFL jobs are better than XFL jobs.
A lot better. Now, you obviously play more in the XFL, but that season's over anyway. So he could theoretically play in the NFL, be the 3rd string, and then go right back to the XFL if he wanted to.
It's going to be awesome.
Good for Benny D. Good for Benny D.
Hey, I'm happy to see it. And I'm glad because when the XFL was started, and I was like, it's just going to be another one of these off-brand football leagues that just kind of they don't get anywhere. The XFL they actually did all right.
I think it's better than the USFL.
Good. It's way better than USFL. And plus, I think the talent's better. And I think football needs that intermediate level because there's never really been that. You have that in baseball. You have that in hockey. You have all the farm systems. The
even in the NBA, you have the G League.
Right. You have a different league where you don't have to be at the very, very top, but you can keep playing, you can gain experience, and if you light it up, you get a shot again in the NFL, or even for the first time if you didn't make the NFL right away. I think it's going to be great, and I think overall it's just going to benefit the sport, and it's going to benefit the NFL as a league as a whole.
It's another way to showcase talent. Like, I feel like quarterbacks and offensive linemen, even defensive linemen, it's such a highly skilled position where it's like, and there's so few of special in those categories. Those stand out. You don't miss a ton of those.
Yeah.
But like wide receivers, DBs, safeties, there's so many freak athletes nowadays. You can find so much talent on the outside through these leagues. It's crazy.
It's insane, and I think it's good. I think it's going to really benefit the league.
I agree. Francis Ngannou, story number 4. Francis Ngannou signs with the PFL, Pro Fighting League or something like that.
Premier Fighting League.
Is it PFL?
Yeah.
He came out saying that he is, quote, the baddest MFer on the planet. I would strongly disagree.
He was ducking fights.
He's ducking fights, and exactly what John Jones said. He said, how are you going to call yourself the baddest man on the planet from across the street? I could not agree more with John Bones. John Bones is the baddest man on the planet, point blank.
Absolutely. Like
he said with DC, man, I was beating you when I was on coke, man. Like, dude, he's that guy. Yeah. He's that guy.
He is. Off topic. Did you hear about the guy that broke into John Jones' house?
What a dumbass. What are you doing?
Dude, broke into John Jones' house.
No way. This can't be real.
I swear to God, we'll look it up right when we're done here. Breaks into John Jones'
house. Is this recently?
Yes.
Okay.
Gets in there. Starts to try to find his way around. John Jones ends up he has a Belgian Malinois that's bite trained. Releases the dog.
Of course he does, because he's a freaking savage.
Releases the dog. The dog starts chasing him through the house. Okay? The guy's trying to get out now. Because he's done.
Clearly.
He's checked out. John Bones comes running out of the house chasing him with a 12-gauge shotgun.
And just boom.
First of all, can we just go over how scary it would be just being chased by John Bones? Regardless of the shotgun.
Set the stage. You are running away. You have a dog ready to bite your ass off.
Not just any dog, though. A Belgian Malinois.
Yeah, and then you have John Jones just stacked. Just who's cardio like crazy, strong as shit, weirdly bendy for the size of a human being he is, and he's just carrying the deadliest shotgun you could buy, and he's just boom. I'm out, dude. I'm out. At that point, do you just lay down?
You just give up. You start petting the dog.
Here, buddy. That's not gonna work out for you.
No. No shots were fired though. I
think
good. The intimidation was all he needed.
Okay, that's good.
But nevertheless, yeah. Go fight John Bones. If you're gonna call yourself the baddest dude on the planet, finish what you started in the UFC. And if you win and you beat everybody in the UFC, then go fight in that league. And then go prove that you can win that league too. But you know what? Until you can do that, I'm not gonna call you the baddest MFer on the planet. I'm not.
Too late. You already signed. That's it.
I'm just not gonna do it.
So
either way, guys,